Hello there, it is weekly weight loss vlog time. Monday again. The weeks are flying by. We always say that. Yeah, it's Monday again. Weekly weight loss vlog time. Time to go through last week's food, eating, calories, movement, as always. For my own accountability, but hopefully, as I always say, you guys might take a little bit of inspiration from it. What we're on today, the 19th. It's bank holiday this weekend. 19th of August. So we're doing the 12th of August to the 18th of August. I always, before I do these, I'm like, oh, what interesting things can I tell everyone this week? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is how my life runs. It's literally simple, straightforward. No, it's been a nice week, actually. It's been, last week was a good week. Nice work-wise. Obviously, you're watching this on YouTube, and I've managed to monetize my YouTube, which is good. So I did a bit more content, and I'm going to do a bit more content on YouTube. I'm enjoying doing, just mixing things up a bit, doing some longer format videos like this one. Obviously, I've been doing this now since January. I did a new podcast on Slimming World. If you've not watched that, please go and check it out. And because I can monetize my YouTube a little bit, it doesn't cost you anything. You just now are going to get a couple of adverts at the beginning, probably, and maybe the odd advert halfway through my content. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit more, not exclusivity on YouTube. Obviously, this only comes out on YouTube. But like the podcast, it'll come out for a week early on YouTube, and then it will be available on all other formats. I'm also cracking on with the weight loss Q&A videos that I do on YouTube. And if there's any other content, I keep racking my brains thinking, what else would be what else would be good to do on the tube, as it were. I do want to start doing some more cooking kind of video content on there. I'm working through my next recipe e-cookbook, which is takeaway dupes. It's been probably a year in the making. Lost a bit of passion with it, if I'm being honest with you. For some reason, I just was struggling to. I think sometimes you just take too much on, don't you? But I've fired it back up. It's something I'm going to try and work out. I'm going to try and get it out for the end of September. Done and dusted, and then I'm going to put one great big bundle together that will include all three. If you've already bought the other two, I'll do you a deal on getting the new one. Anyway, I'll talk about that at another point in time. But yeah, so did a bit of content on YouTube. Other than that, just a standard week, really. I like it. I do like life being more, especially when it comes to weight loss. It does make life a little bit simpler. Got a busier few weeks coming up. I'll talk about them at the end of going through everything. But yeah, and this weekend, really nice weekend, was over in Manchester on Saturday at Rachel's mum's. It was, I say her nephew, our nephew, but. Rachel's nephew's 10th birthday, so we went over there, ended up having a few beers, sat in the garden because the weather was half decent, which was nice, on Saturday. And then yesterday, what did we do yesterday? Just a really chilled day yesterday. Football's back. That has been the big thing for this week. For my sins, I'm a United fan, so it's nice to see them get off to a win, but I watched a nice bit of football over the weekend. I'm a footy fanatic. I flipping love it. Anyway, that's about it, really. Yeah, just been a nice sort of, standard week. I'm ready for a break. That is where I'm at the moment. I am ready for a break. Maybe not a weight loss break. I'm definitely ready for a break from work. I love my job. I love doing my content. I love working with all my clients. By the way, guys, if you want to come on the one-to-one plan with me, half price sign up is going to end on the 8th of September. So you've got this week, next week, and the week after. I've got 3 weeks, but if you sort of got back from your summer holidays, getting back into that routine, buying the kids' uniforms, and you're like, yeah, I probably need to get back on my journey and think about getting back into the routine of things before Christmas, then yeah, the half price offer is still on. Again, I'll put all the details of everything in the description to the vlog. Anyway, there we go. Right, let's have a look at my calories for the week. So I knew I had a bit of something on over the weekend, so I tried to do my best to bank as many calories as possible, as always, going into the weekend. So Monday, 2,143 calories, banked 607. Tuesday, 2,387, banked 363. Wednesday was a bit more of a calorific day, actually. 2,557, 193 calories banked. Thursday, 2,137, 613 banked, and then 2,310 on Friday, 440 banked. And I think I ended up, without me going through it, I don't know, I think I ended up taking about 2,200 calories into the weekend. Saturday, you can see there was my highest calorie day, though the calories that I banked and that was fairly even over the weekend. 4,132, so I went over 1,282, and that included, a good few beers on Saturday afternoon, sat in Rachel's mum's back garden. And I didn't actually eat that much on Saturday. I don't feel like I did. I had obviously quite a few calories, but don't feel like I ate that much on Saturday. I had a very bitty day on Saturday. And then yesterday, 3,867. A little bit, I'm not hungover actually. I knew I'd had a beer, but didn't find it terrible to control the old calories. Had some cereal in the morning and my usual bacon butty in the afternoon with a twist, I'll show you shortly. And kebab wrap last night, a few bits on the couch and a few bits on the side. Anyway, calories soon add up, 3,867. And do you know what? I didn't even look at my overall calories yesterday. I was just like, it is what it is. It was only this morning on the TikTok live I've done, where I had a quick look and I was like, oh, I'm 283 over, which I was absolutely fine with. I actually thought I was about 500 over, to be honest with you. 283 over my ideal deficit. I would say my calorie burn at the moment is 3-4 a day on average. So, 283. I'm well within. I'm probably in a 3,750 calorie deficit there last week, which is all good. And I had a loss last week. No check-in this week because, no check-in this week. Why is there no check-in this week? Oh, it's just not checking it. It's checking on Friday. So, got to get hydrated. Obviously, having a few beers, a few extra calories over the weekend will have increased my water retention. I'd like to get another loss this weekend if possible, because I am having a bit more of a chilled out view on weight loss over the next few weeks. Like I say, we'll talk about that at the end of the vlog. It's just need to get nice and hydrated, flush out any excess water retention, back to my normal eating patterns, and we will we'll see what the scales say on Friday, which I'll obviously talk about in next week's weekly weight loss vloggy. Right, do you know what I'm not going to do it for it. Well, should I do it for this one? I was going to say, I don't want you guys to get wrapped up in numbers. People always ask me about macros, how much protein should be eating, how much fiber should be eating. I'm always like, you don't need to stick to a specific number, but I will go through this and I can screenshot this actually and put it up for you. Now, in terms of fiber, and this is why it's important to have a little look back, because you can just make some improvements. What's fibre important for? Fibre's important. Number one, it helps fill us up because it's harder to break down to the body, harder to break down by the body, similar to protein. Also, generally, foods that are high in fibre tend to be more on the healthier scale. And number three, fibre is important for us, very good for gut health. The recommended, this is just the recommended daily amount from like generic NHS guidelines, is 30 grams a day, 210 grams over the week. I've had 174.5 grams of fibre this week. So what do I take from that? I need to up my fibre a little bit this week. That's what I take from that. So I'm going to look at upping my fibre a little bit this week. Looking at that, really, I was a bit low on Saturday, which, again, that's because a good chunk of my calories on Saturday was alcohol, not actual food. Wednesday was really low, and that's where it's kind of got a bit low. But I'm going to look at increase, because if my fibre is relatively low, it generally means that my fruits and my veggies for the week are relatively low. So I will be looking at bumping that up. Let's have a look at the old protein. Again, no specific amounts for protein. You don't need to stick to any set amount. Just a high protein diet. The recommended daily amount for protein, NHS guidelines for an average adult is 60 grams a day, which would be what? 6 times 420 grams over a week. I've had 1,000 grams of protein there. I never track individual protein macros, but looking at that, again, I'd probably want a little bit more than that personally for me to support what I do going in the gym. So again, I'm probably going to look at upping my lean protein this week a little bit. And I'm logging this now because we'll go through it next week. and we can sort of have a little look. And then the big one that everyone goes on about is sugar. Sugar is not the enemy. It's not going to kill you. It doesn't give you diabetes. But again, we should look at our overall sugar intake. Total sugar intake, NHS guidelines for the average adult is 90 grams a day of total sugars. That includes lactose, which is the sugar in dairy, fructose, which is the sugar in fruit and honey, and your added sugars like sucrose, glucose, things like that, like table sugar, caster sugar that you get in cakes, biscuits, will be added to certain foods as well, certain foods that we think are healthy, and total daily sugars on average about 90 grams a day. They recommend 30 grams of that should be no more than your free sugars. Sorry, did I say total? I don't know if I said. But free sugars is like your sucrose and your glucose and stuff like that. Sucrose, glucose, multidextrose, stuff like that. More than 30 grams a day. I never really worry about that. I just look at total sugars. 90 grams a week. Again, times that by 7, which is 560. So as you can see there, I'm quite a bit under that. So I'm all good with that one. And the last thing I'll always look at is saturated fat. Saturated fat is about 30 grams a day, same as fibre, which would be 210 over a week. And I'm at 268 there. And that's really because of the weekend. Whatever I've eaten has been quite high in saturated fat, which would say I've had cakes, chocolate, things like that, fatty meats. So again, something I'd look at there. I'm not too worried about it. And again, we shouldn't look at individual weeks too much. It's all about what we do over time. So if am I going to panic about it? No, like my protein and my fibre, I want up that. In terms of saturated fat, now, if I start logging this on these vlogs going forward and my saturated fat is 260 to 300, is any more than, again, I'm a bit more, I can consume a bit more than average. I would say if it's consistently over 250, then that's, again, I'd probably look at my overall diet and look at improving it. Anyway, there we go. Right, so we get into daily eating. Let me look at my watch and see where that's kicking in for editing. But yeah, I'll start doing that a little bit more. Looking at what's triggered that is this morning people were asking about overall diet energy. How healthy your diet is will give you things like, obviously will limit any health issues as we get older, but also it contributes to things like energy and how good we feel, and little things like confidence, self-esteem could all come down to how we feel, and your diet plays a big part in that. So I will start doing a bit more of that each week, posting like a bit of kind of what we would call macro and micro breakdowns. Right, let's do some daily eating. So Monday the 12th, I had breakfast, I had some cereal, I had a bit of a mix of my cereal protein cereal. Again, I feel like I've been a bit rubbish with pictures this week. I have no idea what I've taken, but if there's pictures of what I'm talking about, I'll post it. So my breakfast, I don't normally eat breakfast on a Monday, and I'm not eating it today actually, but 493 calories was my breakfast last Monday. I had a mix of cereal and more like sugary cereal, as it were. And I actually used a protein shake as the milk to bump the protein up. So 493 calories for 38 grams of protein, which for a bowl of cereal is pretty damn good. My dinner was my normal Chinese chicken curry, but I had a vegetable spring roll left over from Saturday night. So I stuck that in there as well for 670 calories. Saturday afternoon snack, actually Rachel got a veggie sushi from Aldi for a lunch. She left a couple of pieces of it, and I just polished that off afternoon snack for 96 calories. Again, I don't think I took a picture of it. And then for my tea, what do I have for tea? I did a salad. I'm going to do the same tonight. We had buttermilk chicken tenders from Sainsbury's. I did a salad, lettuce, some red onion, and I did some croutons using a bagel. And just a really nice salad, 560 calories for that badger. A bit low on the old protein, 34 grams of protein. And then in bed at night time, I had a Muller Light yogurt and an Oreo grenade bar. So what was that for? 2,143 calories on Monday. Tuesday, I had cereal and I whacked a banana in it. I saw someone do it online, and it was very nice. 444 calories, 36 grams of protein, just with normal milk, not a protein shake. Lunch. Do you know what? I had bacon. I had a full putty of mushrooms to eat up. So I had a full putty of mushrooms with some bacon chopped in them, just chucked in the air fryer. 3-egg omelette, half a tin of beans. That was it. That was my dinner. 671 calories, 55 grams of protein there. Didn't have an afternoon snack. And then, do you know what I've started doing? Well, not started doing. I've been missing out my afternoon snacks a little bit and having a few more calories, lunch and tea. And I'm gonna change that around a little bit this week. This is why these vlogs are so good. Just having a little look back, little assess. And I've sort of noticed that. I noticed that a bit last week. I'm missing out on my mid-afternoon protein shake, which really ramps up that protein. Anyway, tea was, what was it? Oh, I had pasta bake. With some chicken and a bit of garlic bread. 1,000 calories, that bad, yeah. And then a protein bar in bed at night time. Next day, Wednesday. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't think I took a picture of it. I did an impromptu TikTok live on Wednesday morning. I don't normally do social media lives on a Wednesday, but I did an impromptu TikTok live Wednesday morning. And I was going to the gym and I was like, I want a bit of energy. And I just had a piece of toast butter jam. It was absolutely sensational. So I just had that for breakfast. Dinner, we ended up, I had to go to my workwear place where I get like some of my uniform bits on. Someone had ordered a hoodie. If you want a hoodie, it's coming up winter. Head over to my website. I'll put a link to my website, obviously, in the description. And if you want to grab yourself a hoodie, I have got some in stock. I think I've got XL, 2XL and 3XL in stock. But they go up to 7XL. They're really generous sizes. So you can order any size you want. If you order a size I've not got in stock, I'll have to order it and it can take a couple of weeks to come. But anyway, if you want a hoodie. Anyway, someone had ordered a hoodie. So I went and picked that up and we just went into, it's called the Pork Shop in Poulton, Lefylde. The food's generally sensational. And we got a couple of butties and a few other bits, and which we split. But you know what? The sandwiches weren't that great. And yeah, I had a couple of sandwiches. I had a little bit. I think Rachel got some veggie sushi again because that's what I've got down. And I had a bit of Parma ham just to bump the protein up a smidge. Afternoon snack, I did a little video on this. I had a baby bell wrapped in some Parma ham done in the air fryer. And do you know what? The weather was nice and I was in the garden and I had a tango lolly. Which was really, really nice. And tea on Wednesday was the pizza oven was out. And I did a meat feast pizza with a little bit of hot honey on. It was lovely. Rachel actually ended up leaving a third of her pizza, so I ate that as well. So I had 1,156 calories of pizza on Wednesday night. Oreo grenade bar in bed on Wednesday. And looking at this, I'm like, yeah, you know, like Wednesday, toast, sandwich, fine in terms of calories, but this is where my fiber's a bit low. There's no fruits and veggies, so it's just things out, just little changes. Thursday morning, I had a USN Trust cookie bar, which is in the latest Boshy protein box. Again, link will be in the description. I have got some of these Boshy protein boxes left. 3 or 4 left for August. I knew it was going to be a quiet month because a lot of people are on holidays and they're not bothered about them. I've got 3 or 4 left. 4. I've got 4 left. Use code protein. Use code protein. I'll put again a link. Use code. It'll get you 20% off. So you'll get one of them delivered for 18 quid, which for what's in there for 18 quid for protein products is a bargain. So again, link in description if you want one of those. What am I looking at here? Oh yeah, so I had a USN Trust cookie, double chocolate cookie bar, which is in that box. Brilliant. I had that with a banana for my breakfast. Lunch was my Chinese chicken curry, deconstructed chicken curry thing that I have. I did have a protein shake on Thursday afternoon. And then tea was, what did I have for tea? It just says reduce. Oh, I had chicken Kiev, chips and beans. So the Aldi specially selected chicken Kiev, not had one for ages, absolutely love them. Did some air fried chips and half a tin of reduced salt and sugar beans from Heinz. 811 calories for that, 50 grams of protein, absolutely lovely. And then in bed at night time, again, I had a bag of sizzling barbecue crunchits, they're called. Really nice. Again, they're in the Boshy protein box. I had a bag of them and a grenade Oreo bar. Friday, protein pancakes. We cut the protein pancakes down to 1 day a week just because Rachel's going away this weekend. She's off to Benidorm. She's just trying to be a little bit more on it. before going away. So obviously my protein pancakes is like 500 calories. Rachel doesn't have as big a portion as me, but they're 500 calories. So we've just cut them down to 1 day a week at the moment. Absolutely. So that was Friday breakfast. Very bougie on Friday. I had a fillet steak in the fridge. I actually bought it a couple of weeks ago to make content. So I did a bit of a Chinese fried rice thing. Not egg fried rice. I didn't put egg in it. I did like a Chinese fried rice with loads of veggies and then put fillet steak on top and a little bit of oyster sauce. Do you know what? It wasn't my greatest creation. It was only 474 calories. It wasn't my greatest creation. I've done better. But do you know what? It went down. Do you know what? I've just looked there. I've only put in 100 grams. This is going to make my calories wrong. This is going to make my calories wrong for the week, right? It's going to up the protein. I was like, why is that only 474 calories? No, it's 583 calories. So I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change the, or am I? No, I will do. So this will become clear. Well, it won't become clear. When you get to this part of the vlog, you'll be like, Neil's talking, the calories are wrong. Anyway, there we go. I'll put a little note in the video. So actually, let me go back to my week view for my calories, which I'm fine. I'd rather be more accurate. So I was 392 over. So absolutely fine. Still not bothered about that, but I want to be as accurate as possible. Anyway, so I had that fillet steak dish. Excuse me. I was making, because it was Rachel's nephew's birthday our nephew's birthday on Saturday. I did Oreo. Did I get a picture of him? I don't think I did. I'm such a chump. I did Oreo Rocky Roads. They were so good. And I had to sample it. So I had a little bit of that in the afternoon on Friday, sorry. And then for tea, basic tea, beans on toast, egg on toast, and some bacon. Just a really basic tea, but so good. And then in bed at night time, I had half a grenade bar. I had a Freddo, and I had a bag of crisps. Right, so that's the week. That's the week done. What about the weekend where we got calorific? Saturday, I had a Warrior Raw Protein Flapjack, the red velvet flavour. Guess what? That is also in this Boss Your Protein box. I love them. The Warrior Raw Flapjacks are really good value for money in terms of protein to calorie ratio, but I know they can be a little bit Marmite for some people. But the red velvet one, I absolutely love it. We then drove over to Manchester to Rachel's mum's. On the way, nipped into Greg's, and I just got a portion of chicken goujons from there. And then in the afternoon at Rachel's mum's, there were a couple of pasties. Well, there was pasties, there was Pringles, there was I did some barbecue ribs, there were some butties, there was some pizza. I had a bit of all sorts, really. But I've basically tracked my food for it because I was just picking it. And do you know what? It's when you're having picky bits and you're not having set meals, it does make it harder. But it's once in a blue moon for me. So I had to do the best I can. So I actually tracked, and this was kind of my food from then all day. I literally put in 2 pasties, some ribs, some Pringles, some pizza. I had a bowl of cereal when I got home, a few other bits and pieces. I tracked it as 2,250 calories. Could I have had 3,000? Maybe. Could I have had less than 2,000? Maybe. But, you know, it is what it is. And then alcohol-wise, me and Rachel's cousin's husband, we went to the pub and had a couple of pints. So I had a pint of Cruz Campo and a pint of Amstel, which I put in my app. And then I had another 4 cans of Amstel and 2 cans of cider in the garden in the afternoon. So that's all gone in my app at 1,500 calories. Anyway, total calories today, 4,132 on Saturday. It's a bit of a hit and miss day, really. Could have had more than that, possibly. Could have had a bit less than that, possibly. Again, you're going to get days like that, and you don't need to get wrapped up in numbers. You just need to do the best you can. Will I have been a million miles away over? No. So I'm all good with that. And then yesterday, hangover day. No, not really. I was a bit tired. I could tell I'd had a beer. I still find it quite hard to control calories on that day. Client of mine actually messaged me, said, have I got any tips for controlling calories the day after having a good drinking session. I was like, I haven't. Have you got any tips? Because it is something I struggle with. And the only tips I can give is, limit the amount of days where you're having a good drink. That's kind of, you've got to decide what's more important to you. Now, like I say, on Saturday, I had a few beers, but they were spread out throughout the entire day. I wasn't too drunk at all, to be honest with you. It was just more of a bit of a steady drink. But still, yesterday, I craving some carbs, craving some sugar, stuff like that. But, do you know what? I just did the best I can. If I'd had any more, right, or I have a good session, I can't, and I just have to run with it and just have to accept that, my deficit's going to be compromised that week. Is kind of. But if you're doing that week in, week out, will it affect your journey? Yeah, probably it could do. So in terms of like being boozy, I do try and limit it to once a month at the very most. I do. And like I say, you might be like, you had 2 pints, 4 cans and 2 ciders, Neil, and stuff. Yeah, that, always drink responsibly, kids. But, for me, that's kind of, that's not getting boozy. Boozy for me is like, we're on it. There'll be shots involved. It'd be a long day. It'd be from like dinner time till 10 o'clock at night. I think we're home I think I had my first beer at about 1:30 and we were home for about 7:30. So, don't get me wrong, it was still a good few drinks. And like I say yesterday, I was just a bit tired, wasn't too hungover. Anyway, Frosties in the morning. I love a sugary cereal on a Sunday morning. You know that. So I went Frosties, not Frosties, Shreddies. A little bit of honey, a little bit of milk. Dinner, we went to Morrison's yesterday and we bought these. I used to have them all the time and I do like them. The cheese and onion like barms. And do you know what? I had bacon on one of those. It was a taste sensation. I've got one left today. I might have my lunch with it today. I'm going to go to Aldi shopping. I'm recording this in the morning. It will be, I did record this morning, Monday morning. So I'm going to go Aldi shopping. So I might have one of those for my lunch today, actually, with just a load of chicken on it or something like that to bump the protein up. But anyway, I had that as a bacon barm. And then afternoon snacks, I talked about the pork shop we went to the other week. Was it Wednesday? And we got butties from there. Got a Cornish pasty, their version of a pasty, Cornish pasty sort of thing. Absolutely unreal. So I had that yesterday afternoon. What else did I have? I had some salt and vinegar squares. I had a raspberry donut from Morrison's. I had a bit of chocolate as well. So I had a bit of a pig out on the couch, playing my Xbox, watching the footy. How I like to spend a Sunday. Again, there's not much health, never much health goes in on a Sunday. And then for tea last night, I got a doner kebab wrap and a few fries from my local takeaway. These are so good. They're on proper like Turkish flatbreads, doner meat, loads of salad, a little bit of Thousand Island sauce. I tracked that and I had about 2/3 of the fries in the picture. And I've tracked that as 1,300 calories. What do you reckon? I don't think I'm a million miles away. Again, can't be absolutely spot on. And then last night in bed, we had some of this popcorn, which we had a little trip into B&M's. How good. Like, my idea of a heavenly Sunday is, a bit of a mooch around B&M's or Home Bargains, something like that. Get a few random snacks and enjoy them. And we had this last night, which was Oreo popcorn. It was from America. It was in B&M. I can't tell you what it cost. But that whole packet was 160 calories and it was lovely. And then had a bit of chocolate as well. I think we had a couple of other bits and pieces of chocolate that we bought. Anyway, track yesterday is 3,867 calories. That's my calories for the week. And like I say, going through that week there, I've gone through like some of my macros of the week. I don't track individual macros, but I do like to be aware of them and just talking about my food there. I'm like, there wasn't much fruit and veg went in last week, blah, blah, blah. So that's just something, so that'll improve my fibre. I need to get back to more having a protein shake every afternoon, even if it's just a 30-gram one. That'll bump my protein up a little bit more. And that's what you need to do. You need to look at your diet, make little tweaks, see where you can improve. And just keep working at it. It's always a work in progress. Weight loss, life, health, it's always a work in progress. Anyway, steps, 10,282. You know my target for steps is always 10,000 minimum, but I do like to get more towards that 11,000 step mark. I haven't been the last 3 weeks, and that is since doing my spin. Does my spin compensate in terms of calorie burn dropping? Of course it does. Yeah, so I'm not worried about that. My calorie burn is still really, really good. But I don't want, I've added the spin class that I do a week in as a little bonus. So I don't want other things to compromise because that. Why have my steps been lower the last 3 weeks? I just think, I don't know really. Well, I'll be honest with you, which I knew was going to happen, from starting to spin again, my hip and my knee have just been playing up a little bit. And last week, my knee was really sore. So, not after spin, just through the week. So, but it just is what it is. So my steps are still decent, but I'd like them just to be a little bit more. And the difference between doing 10,282 steps a day on average and doing 11,000 is 560. It's 1,000 steps a day. I just need to bump my steps up by 1,000 a day. And as you can see there, I think the difference is my Saturday, Sunday has been quite low. And I think, from memory, I think it has been the last couple of weeks. So just need to get, if I did my 10,000 steps on Saturday, and I was about 8,500 on Saturday, and I was about 7,500 yesterday, maybe just over. Like literally, if I did 10,000 steps both days, I'd be at 11,000 steps. But I always have one day a week where I'm under 10,000, at least one day, because you do need to, it is about balance and about having a little bit of a rest day. So I just think there personally, again, up my steps a little bit more during the week and just probably try and just have one day a week where I'm under 10 rather than having two. But again, work in progress. I'm still happy with my steps. My movement's still good. And shall we do like exercise? I only exercise in the gym. You do exercise that suits you. It doesn't matter. People say, what's the best exercise for weight loss? There actually isn't a great exercise for weight loss. Weight loss is weight loss. Yeah, it's more down to, it's just down to calories in, calories out. The more you move, the more calories you can consume and consistently lose weight, but you don't actually burn that many calories exercising. You know my philosophies on that. But, does it add a bit? Yeah. So let's have a look at by only exercising, you do the best exercise for anything, for health. The best exercise anyone can do is exercise you enjoy doing, and you'll be consistent in doing it. So anyway, here we go. I did say last week my calories I felt on my weight training were down a little bit. I feel like I put it in. Monday, Tuesday, I'm always on it in terms of weights. It's always, I've had a little bit of a break over the weekend with my weights. I always really put it in. Again, maybe a little bit down Thursday, Friday. That could be down to, the fact that I've worked out a little bit less. So, Friday, I always aim to try and do 10 calories per minute. That's according to my Apple Watch. It doesn't mean I'm burning that many calories because they're a bit optimistic, but according to my Apple Watch, try and do 10 calories per minute. Now, that would suggest to me that, if I've done 292 calories like I did on Friday, I've done 29 minutes of weights. I didn't. I know I did 35 minutes of weights. So again, it's just putting in a bit more effort. Again, work in progress. I'm not going to beat myself up. I did the best I could. I did every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, do a little bit on the cross trainer. Nothing major Monday or Wednesday, but again, I look at that and I'm like, right, I've definitely done a little bit longer on the cross. If I'm doing over 150 calories on cross trainer, I'm probably doing 15, 20 minutes, something like that on the cross trainer. So that's maybe why my weights are a little bit less, but I should be doing both. It just means I need to go to the gym slightly longer. And then obviously let's take a quick mooch, Scooby-Doo look, whatever you want to call it, my spin class. Now, my first spin class that I did 635 calories. Second one, 615. Third one, 609. Right? And the time I've been working out hasn't really changed. So my calorie burn has dropped 20 calories, 25 calories from the start. Now, is that significant? Not really. But it actually tells me, and when I look at my workout, and I'll bring up the actual workout now for Saturday, my average heart rate's dropping. I think my average heart rate on my first class was 152. I think last week it was 147. This week it was 141. I'm finding it easier. And you might be like, well, you've only done 3 classes a week apart. We have something called muscle memory. And don't get me wrong, the longer you go without doing something, the more time it takes for that muscle memory to kick in. But I think basically, it's starting to kick in. I'm finding it easier. So what am I going to do about that? And I did on, don't get me wrong, I had a really good workout, averaged 141 beats per minute on the heart rate, good amount of calories burned, nice steady though, heart rate nice and steady, no spikes, which means there wasn't any part of the class that I found really, really tough or where I was having to put a lot of effort in. That tells me I need to put more effort in. And basically with the spin that I do at Ribby Hall, it's called Stages Flight, and you set the power of your bike on an app, and then you log your bike into an iPad on the wall. And I've got my bike at a relatively low for me personally. If I compare it back to when I used to do spin 2.5 years ago, I need to up it. I need to up the resistance on my bike. So I'm going to do that for this Saturday. So this Saturday there will be, and that should then mean that next week when I'm doing this, my heart rate should be up a little bit, because someone said to me in the gym this week, they said, it doesn't get any easier, does it? And, I'm saying now, I'm like, I've just put an elliptical workout on my phone for some unknown reason. I hope my camera's still running, because if it's not, I'll be mad as out. No, it is. Right. Someone said to me, they went, it doesn't get any easier, does it? And I said, working out should never get any easier. And they were like, what? I was like, it should never get any easier, because as you notice it gets easier, you should progress yourself more. So if you find that lifting 10 kilo weights is getting easier, start lifting 12 kilo weights. If you find that doing effort level 8 on the cross trainer is getting easier, go to effort level 10. Likewise, I've noticed, and again, another bonus of doing these vlogs is me looking back, analysing. I'm like, my calorie burn's dropped each week doing spin. Nothing major, but I'm still putting the effort in, right? Which means I'm finding it easier. So if I'm finding something easier, I need to make it tougher. Always take yourself just out of your comfort zone. That is how we get better. There we go. Right, that's this week's weekly weight loss vlog, all done and dusted. As always, any comments, like, subscribe, all this, that and other would be much appreciated. What's going on this week? Well, it's bank holiday this weekend. So Rachel's off to Benidorm Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm picking her up Monday night, / Tuesday morning from the airport when she's back. So I'm planning on having a weekend. Well, not a weekend, sorry. Friday's normal. I'm actually glad I'm doing this spin class, because otherwise I'd probably be out Friday for a few beers. But I'm going out Saturday. So Friday it'll just be a normal day. Gonna go do my spin class Saturday morning. Got some mates coming around. I'm gonna watch the footy Saturday afternoon here at my house, and then we're gonna go out for a few hours somewhere. Not 100% sure yet, but we're gonna go and have a wander, have a few beers. So looking forward to that. That is gonna be a boozy day. So this week, I was tempted to just go full maintenance calories. I'm not going to go full maintenance calories. I'm not going to change my calories. I'm just going to bank as many as I can for the weekend. Enjoy the weekend, track the best I can, and see where I end up, but no pressure on myself. So kind of like a bit of a semi-weight loss break in a way. Next week, I said I've got a few busy weeks coming up. So that's this weekend. So I'm, as long as I end up in a deficit at the end of this week, I'm all good. I know it's bank holiday next Monday. I'll still be doing my weekly weight loss vlog. I'm still going to work next week. Why? Because I'm working this week. I'm working next week. The week after, I'm going to try and have a week off in a way. I'm still going to do my weekly weight loss vlog because I enjoy doing them and it's good for my own accountability. But there'll be no other content really going out that week. It's my birthday on the Monday. 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks today? No. Yeah. It is. 2 weeks today is my birthday. Oh, 44. 44, 2 weeks today. So it's my birthday 2 weeks today. So I'm going to do, I'll still be doing my weekly weight loss vlog, but I'm not going to do as many lives. I'm not going to do any work within my community in terms of like Zoom sessions and stuff that I do. And I'm going to have a week off weight loss that week. We go to Edinburgh on the Thursday for a long weekend. So I'm going to not track Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm having 4 days off. I'm still going to, I always tell my clients not to track on their birthday because I've got that weekend off. I'm still going to track Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm still going to try and stay accountable for those 3 days. But then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm just going to enjoy myself, have a week off. Yeah, have a week off basically. And then when we're back from Edinburgh, we're going away in October just for a last little blast of sun, only for 5 nights over to Spain. So, but we've got 4.5 weeks until we go. So I will be back on it. I'm going to do no booze after Edinburgh for 4 weeks. So yeah, so just got, this is kind of, if I'm being honest with you, I'm checking in on Friday. This will be my last little hit of weight loss. And then obviously after Edinburgh, I'm on it till Christmas. Yes, I've got a few days in Spain, but other than that, there's going to be no boozing for most of September before we go away. And then when we get back, again, I'm gonna do probably 6 weeks. I've not really got much on. We've got Rachel's mum's birthday towards the end of November, so I'm probably going to do from coming back from holiday to the end of November. Again, no booze. And then December is December. I can't believe I'm talking about Christmas. It'll be here before we know it. Anyway, that's it. That's this week's Weight Loss vlog. All done and dusted. Any comments, please get them in. Thank you, as always, for following me on the old YouTube. Deals for the protein box, coming on plan, everything like that is all in the description of the video. Yeah, and until next time, in whatever format you are watching me in, as always, make sure you are bossing your weight loss.